Welcome to Footballing Controversy.
Hello and welcome to the Football Controversy Show, where I'm joined with Connor. Say hello, Connor.
Hello.
And I'm joined by Corey as well.
Hello.
This is a show where we talk about all things football, your interesting opinions, let's say, and obviously Corey's here to debate them. So I'm going to start us off with a little icebreaker, guys. Connor, I'll start with you.
Yeah.
I want you to name me 3 celebrities which you'd enjoy to go to the pub with and maybe drink a pint.
Celebrities. I would go Harry Lewis from the Sunbed. I think it would be quite fun to go to the pub with him.
W2S, yeah.
Yeah. I'd go with Ronaldo.
Cristiano.
Even though he don't drink,
Yeah.
I'm sure it would be quite good to have a chat of what he thinks, how he feels about football and how it helped him maybe.
Okay.
And I'd go with The Rock.
Dwayne
Yeah.
The Rock Johnson.
Yeah,
Any
but-
reason?
Quite fun in a way.
So we're going for Rota Short, Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Don't mind that, Connor. Corey?
My first choice, obvious pick, Hasbulla, because you know he's just a legend, isn't he?
He is
And
legend, yeah.
I think second pick, on a similar vein, we'll go Akinfenwa. And I think what I'd do is I'll put them against each other, see who can drink more. It's like David versus Goliath,
Okay.
like, at the pub.
Yeah.
And then for my third choice, I think I'll go Beetlejuice, but not Beetlejuice from the movies. I'm talking like the little
Beetlejuice,
guy
Yeah.
who like can't count.
Okay.
I think seeing him drunk would be very funny. So I think there's my 3.
Would you trust Beetlejuice with a couple of
No.
pints of Stella Artois?
No, I wouldn't. But you know, just got to see how the night goes.
Okay, interesting. I'm not sure who has the more interest of the two, but don't mind those options at all.
Yeah.
So moving on, we're going to explain what's coming up, and that is exactly what the show's about. Controversy. Your opinions on Manchester United, their current form, how things could look for them next season. I believe you have an interesting opinion about Manchester United maybe winning the Premier League next season.
Yeah, I think if we get our cards right
Yeah.
and made the right signings, obviously Man United, they're famous for not having the good signings recently in current years. But I think if we can make the right signings and I think we should keep Carrick.
Okay.
And if he can make the right signings, obviously, then I think we could get up there for winning the league next year. Be
Okay.
one of them.
So we'll speak about that. We'll also have a quiz towards the end of the show. But firstly, I want to come to Corey. Your thoughts on Connor's statements?
I completely disagree with your statements. I think Man United are nowhere near ready to win the Premier League with both their players and their managers. And I'd like to, hear what signings you think you'd make to win you the Premier League, to be honest. So I think we'll start there.
Yeah, I think obviously the defence is not a strong point for Man United. So I'd start with signing Van de Ven from Spurs. I think he could be a good player to be more pacey. Like if we need someone that's attacking, he could go up there. But like if the other team that we're playing in the game, yeah, he could get back quickly with his pace, obviously.
To butt in, Connor, do you think Van de Ven would want to join Manchester United?
To be fair, I think he would rather play for Man United right now than Tottenham, if you look at where he is. Because Tottenham, they're at risk of getting relegated this year.
Okay.
That's your club, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I think if they get relegated, he'll obviously want to leave, obviously.
Should expect
But
so,
even with 17th, that's 2 years in a row coming 17th, yeah.
yeah.
That is quite bad for how big Tottenham is overall, yeah. But I think he would want to leave because, yeah, and I think he would rather play for like Man United,
Yeah.
whereas we've got Champions League football next year.
Of course.
I'm sure he won't be wanting to play Champions League football next year.
Yeah, very attractive proposition.
Yeah, and if Man United didn't get a draws, I'm sure we would have been like very top.
Okay.
Okay, but would you not argue that Van de Ven doesn't really fit the way you play? Because you're a very open team and Van der Ven arguably will leave a lot of holes in the defence, and even in the midfield if he's going up. You know, how would you counter that?
Yeah, I could agree with that. Obviously, there will be a lot of holes. But if you look at our defence, if you got Maguire, you're going for the free back. If he's up there, well, like when we're on the ball, we can play at the free back, yeah. And once they're coming towards us on the counter attack, he can get back quickly. We go back into back four.
Yeah. What about your fullbacks then? You're saying a back four, but you have like Patrick Dorgu, who's again attacking. So who's going to fill in when Dorgu's going up? What if Van der Ven goes up with him?
I think he's more of a attacking player really. He's more like a left mid, left wing. So I would think I would bring in like a left back, you know.
Go on, give me a name.
I would think, I know he's been injury prone these past couple of years, yeah, but I would bring in like Davies.
Okay,
from Bayern.
so you're going to replace an attacking fullback with an attacking fullback.
But he's got more of that pace, yeah.
Okay.
Like obviously he's attacking, yeah, but I think he's also defensive as well. He's quite good on defense, and he's get up and back and forward quite quick for when they've got the ball. So I think it could work quite well.
What about who's your right back? Mazraoui? Is that your right back? I believe it is,
Yeah,
right?
or it's Dalot.
Do you stick with them because they're a bit suspect at like best of times, really? So
That is true. Obviously, it's not a strong point, but like Dalot, I think he does quite well. Like I think he's a bit underrated. Like he does do well in games. It's just I guess he's not rated up to the other players.
Moving up the pitch, we spoke about the defence now. In the forward positions, I'm going to go to first before the midfield because I think there's more to talk about the midfield, which we'll leave for a moment. Strikers, anybody you think, in your opinion?
I've got two strikers in mind for that position.
Okay.
Like one's already played in the Prem, and one's not. Like we got Martinez from Inter.
Lautaro Martinez, okay, yeah.
I think he's been very good in Italy since he joined.
Okay.
And if you look at last year's, he did so well in the Champions League until we got to the final. Like they got crushed in the final, obviously, but I think he did quite well in the Champions League last year. And like he always does so well in the Italy. He's won the league this year. That's his second, I think. But yeah.
do you think that really translates to the Premier League though? Because they're very different leagues. Italian players have struggled. Well, Italian league players struggled a lot in the Premier League.
I can see what you mean by that.
It's a lot faster pace.
But yeah. But I feel like Champions League is quite difficult against these big clubs.
Okay. But what about Premier League?
With my other, but I can see what you mean. Okay. It's quite difficult. But my other player, he's already played in the Prem. He's won multiple Golden Boots. Harry Kane.
Okay. Cool.
Obviously, he's doing so well for Bayern. I can see that. But he is getting old now, so I think he is looking retirement. And like, I do think he'll want to come back to England to retire. So,
but given Spurs are looking likely to stay up this season, why would he go to Man United to retire when he could retire at Spurs, his like beloved club?
Yeah, I can see what you mean, Matt. But
it's more money you can offer him, or
any real reasons? Any attractiveness to United anymore?
He can go to Spurs, and make less money. Because I'm sure he's still going to make the big bills, So Man United can pay more.
Okay, more likely to win trophies as well, I guess you could say.
Yeah. If he wants to win a trophy in England, then he's got to not go to Tottenham.
But then also with that point, Tottenham won a trophy more recently than United.
Yes, but
so
beating United in the final, let me add.
Yes.
With a dodgy goal, in my opinion.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay.
It was both teams should not have been in the final last year, in my opinion.
Okay.
But Spurs won it fair and square. Like a goal's a goal, But in my opinion, you're a Tottenham fan, of course. Do you think the goal was clean?
I'd say so, but I feel we're going off on tangents here. Going back to Harry Kane mainly, I don't think the Europa League final in Bilbao is going to be a reason for Harry Kane to join Man United over Tottenham, vice versa.
course.
So I'm going to move us on to midfield, and who do you feel is the answer to United's midfield problems?
I think a player that's been in form for Nottingham Forest this year, Anderson.
Elliot Anderson, okay.
Yeah. He's
Any
been
reason?
quite good.
Yeah.
What does he provide to your midfield though? I don't
I'd
have-
say he's Casemiro. He was attacking, yeah, but he's a CDM. Whereas if with Anderson, yeah, he is the attacking midfielder. Because I think the whole squad is more attacking than defensive,
okay.
in my opinion.
But then surely you add a defensive player. But you just said he's attacking.
Because I think that's how we're gonna play next year, more attacking. Since Carrick's came in, if he stays, in my opinion, he should. I think he's done what he deserves to get the job, obviously. But I think he is the more attacking football manager, you know,
Okay.
and like he can get up there,
He can.
whereas he can also defend. He's like back and forth.
Box to
you know.
box. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
is the
box
word
to
you're
box.
using,
That's
yeah.
it.
We're looking for, yeah.
You say he partners well with Bruno Fernandes though, because
I think he would partner good with Fernandes.
okay. And who else do you have in midfield? Kobe Mainoo.
Yeah, I would keep Maynard.
Is
He's
that-
still young, I would say.
I wouldn't say that's a very balanced midfield then. Say it's on the very attacking side. And if you want to look at recent attacking teams in the Premier League, at like big clubs, you look at Ange's Tottenham, you look at how that finished. You know, is that not a worrying sign, Man United?
I would say Mainoo's more a defensive player, though, in my opinion.
Yeah, but like
Because you
overall-
look at the other teams in the Prem, like Man City, they've had 2 attacking midfielders and that midfielder that stays back. Here's you've had, if you look at their years when they won 4 in a row, yeah, you had Kevin De Bruyne, Ronaldo, and you had Rodri.
Yep.
So
yeah,
it's
it's
like-
true, but I don't think Michael Carrick is quite Pep Guardiola, you know. So
That's true.
Going on to the managers quickly. Do you think Carrick is the man for the job?
In
next
my
season?
opinion, I think he should stay. He's done what he deserved. He's
Okay.
beaten the big clubs such as Aston Villa, Man City, Liverpool, you know,
Okay.
and Arsenal. That are high up there to win the league.
Mm-hmm.
So he's beat both of the clubs are above him right now.
Okay.
So
He's
Why
proven his
sh-
worth, in your opinion.
I think, yeah.
Any
he
other
is.
managers, if he wasn't to sign on,
If he
that
doesn't
you'd
sign
like?
on, I'd bring in Xavi.
Xavi, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's got the attacking football such a like what Carrick has,
Yeah.
and I think he's showed it in other leagues such as La Liga.
Yeah.
That's like the second biggest league.
I could agree with that.
He's
yeah.
won with Barcelona.
Yeah.
So,
but you said you want to keep Carrick overall though. Like
yeah,
overall.
I think he should stay.
Do you not? Is it not worrying to you that he got sacked at Middlesbrough and that's like his only job? A Middlesbrough team who are now, you know, potentially going to be Premier League next season. You know, is that not a very worrying sign for you?
Of course, he got sacked there, yeah, but he didn't do that bad at Middlesbrough, in my opinion.
Like finishing 7th, and that's like the same team they have now basically. It's a really good team. You got 10th. It's not a good job, is it?
Okay,
But
so
then if you look at the Championship, it's a very unpredictable league, in my opinion.
okay, so leaving it there, your beliefs are that you want Carrick as the manager, a new set of players for United, and then you
Yeah.
believe that United can challenge for
I
the
think
Premier
we
League
are
title.
there to win the league, yeah.
And you believe you will win the Premier League?
Yes, I think we will.
There we have it. Corey?
Well, I don't think there's a world in which Man United win the Premier League next season. I don't think there's a world where you win it like in 2 seasons, to be honest. You're not ready. So I think those are my overall opinions on Man United winning the Prem.
There we go. 2 very different feelings for each club. Each side of me here. Corey, not so sure. Connor, very confident.
Yeah.
Controversial, as we've
Of course.
conned it, I could say. So there's that. So welcome back to the Football Controversy Show. I hope you enjoyed a wonderful advert with our star of the show here. We're going to be moving on to the quiz now, the Footballing Controversy quiz. Well, we have a series of questions I'll be asking. I will be asking 10 questions. As you can see, the boys both have buzzers here. Whoever buzzes first answers that question. If neither of them are getting anywhere close, I will give you both a clue, and we go from there. My set of questions will begin right here. So we'll start with the first question. Buzzers at the ready, please, gentlemen. Which famous team did Zinedine Zidane play for before he joined Real Madrid? Connor? Juventus.
There was no buzzer noise there.
There was no buzzer noise. That is very true. We do need a buzzer noise.
Alright.
We'll go with that. Connor? Juventus is the correct answer. 1-0 to Connor, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, fair play.
Second question. Which nation were the first ever FIFA World Cup winners in
Uruguay.
Uruguay is the correct answer. 1-1, gentlemen. All one apiece. Question 3. Was it ready?
Yep.
Who scored Manchester United's winning goal in the 1999 Champions League?
Who?
Connor?
Ollie.
What? Full name,
Scottish
please?
skirt.
That's the one. We go 2-1 to Connor.
Okay.
Moving on. Chance for you to level it up.
course.
Connor could go 2 ahead here. Big question. Who was the Golden Boot winner at the 2018 FIFA World Cup? Connor.
Mbappe.
Incorrect. We move on. Corey, your chance to level it.
2018
World
France
Cup.
winners. I know Is he locked out?
Yeah, Connor is locked out until.
If he gets a wrong cap,
Griezmann was.
If he gets it wrong, I'll give you both a clue.
It could be Griezmann. Was Kane doing well? I don't think he was. I don't remember the 2018 World Cup, to be honest. I'll go. Griezmann.
It's an incorrect answer, and I will give you a clue. Buzz at the ready, please. Both of you back in the game. He currently plays in the Bundesliga.
Harry Kane.
Correct. 3-1 to Connor,
Almost had it.
and he's running away with it.
He is.
Question 5. Which nation made themselves the first African country to reach? Connor.
Morocco.
I mean, it's correct. The question was, who was the first African country to reach a World Cup semi-final in 2022?
Where has this guy been, like, the last 10 times we've done this?
He's done his research, clearly. We'll give him that. Okay. 4-1 to Connor. Corey, we need something to bring this one back. Question number 6. Which defender captained Italy in the 2006 World Cup final? Connor.
Chiellini.
Incorrect. 2006. Bit early for Chiellini there.
Cannavaro?
Incorrect. I'll give you a clue. He wore the number 3 shirt for Italy. And you're both back in now.
2006.
I know it is, but don't know his name.
Is there multiple choice on this one? Just out of curiosity.
I think it's quite self-explanatory once I tell you the answer.
He's an icon, isn't
He's an icon.
Maldini?
It's the correct answer. It's 4-2. Game's back on, Connor.
Come on, Connor.
Question number 7. Which football club is nicknamed the Old Lady? Connor.
he? Ventus.
Correct. Connor.
Okay, wait.
This is
Still tie up.
You could still tie it up. So we've got 3 questions left. It's 5-2 to Connor, I believe.
I need to win one more.
You are
It's a
going to
little-
need
it's a little bit
big
embarrassing.
performance. Question number 8. Who was the Italian manager of Chelsea's 28?
Contact.
Incorrect. 2018-19 Europa League final win in Azerbaijan.
Italian manager.
Correct.
Maurizio Sarri.
It's the correct answer. 5-3.
Come on.
Comeback is on. Remontada, perhaps. Okay. Question number 9. Be ready for this one because I think that both of you may have a bit of a know-how to this one. Which country beat Brazil 7-1?
Germany.
It's correct. 6-2 to Connor. We will finish the quiz, but there is only one winner. It's the controversial man himself. We'll get to that celebratory moment in a minute. Question number 10. What is the infamous event associated with Colombia's Andres Escobar after the 1994?
Wait, what? Did he die? He got killed by the fans?
He got killed by the fans. That is correct, and that sums up our quiz. Connor, the winner.
Yeah.
Give it a little
God,
something for the fans,
give us
please.
celebration.
Little celebration. Words of wisdom, actually.
We get a speech.
Too easy.
It's too easy, says Conor McCarthy. And that sums up our quiz here at the Football Controversy Show. Thoughts on the questions, gentlemen?
No, it's great questions.
Yeah.
Just got massively unlucky, and if we did it again, I'd win easy, I think. But fair play, Connor. Fair play.
Shake hands.
Fair play.
And that, beautifully, in a bit of darkness, a bit of light now, sums up our show here at the Football Controversy Show. It's been an absolute honour, gentlemen.
It's been a pleasure.
I've loved all of it. Loved it all. Been a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
We'll see you next season when Manchester United perhaps win the Premier League title. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll do a part 2 of the Football Controversy
Yeah.
Show. Time will tell. Would you
Yeah.
be up for that?
No.
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 So maybe we won't. Maybe it'll just be Connor and me talking about United's success or
Yeah.
probably failures. And, yeah. See you next time.